Left side, incoming!
I felt that one, brother.
Seems for every camp we destroy, we find two more.
It's almost impressive.
Freya, returning to the story of your brother, you said he made it his mission to find the source of Bifrost light.
He did indeed. And he succeeded, although quite by accident. Freyr believed he navigated best while fortified by a potent blend of Vanir herbs. When he wandered, he wandered. And he managed to wander from the World Tree directly into the Lake of Souls. The elves had never seen anybody come out of the lake before, so it got some attention.
Oh, that is bloody hilarious.
I don't know whether he worked his charms at that point or they just assumed him to be a great deity. But of course, he hadn't made this journey in search of responsibility, so he didn't stick around long.
Set that aside for now. Come. No!
You're covered in Bifrost!
This is truly thankless work.
Must be done.
I'm sure the civilians we're protecting would thank us. Well, thank both of you. Me, they would just point at and scream. Freya, will you continue that story about your brother? He stumbled into Alfheim, became a legend, and left?
Essentially so. Still, the legend of his manifestation was passed along through the ages. It even endured after the Great Division, remembered by light and dark elf alike. So when at last he returned, he was uniquely situated to gain the trust of both sides and help to create a truce. The problem was, both sides trusted only him. So the peace could only last as long as he stayed around to keep it. And with the long war dragging on without an end in sight, suppose making any kind of peace
That's
was
enough
an
for the time being. You're on fire, Kratos! It will pass! Incoming Bifrost!
I feel bad for the Asgardians, and even worse for the Midgardian refugees. Learning the god they indebted themselves to didn't care for them at all. Such profound betrayal.
Aye. Their homes will not be the only thing they will be rebuilding.
It does not.
Mimir, there's something I wanted to ask you about. Hildisvini told me about your visit to secure Hell's army, but was reluctant to elaborate when it came to negotiating with Hrasfelger.
No more for now. Focus.
Regarding security.
Unequal force of
Kratos,
Van...
Freya, welcome back. Mimir,
Lady Sif,
Freya.
it speaks volumes seeing you here in person. The first of the Aesir to visit us in peace.
Really, Your Majesty?
It's the capacity of the Vanir's forgiveness that speaks volumes.
we know Asgard was more than Odin and his Einherjar. If they'll help us rebuild, they're more than welcome to stay.
Aesir and Vanir living together. I never thought it possible.
I imagine a severe lack of options for the Aesir helped ease things along.
Oh, Mimir. It has truly been a pleasure not listening to your prattling commentary for the last 100 winters.
Well, excuse me, milady.
100 winters of Mimir bleeding at court? I think I'd rather be exiled.
Indeed. Ugh, the stories I have.
Really? Do tell.
Well, everything appears to be in order here, diplomacy administered, and all's well. Let's leave these two to their planning, shall we?
Back to it then. Where can we set the homestead?
We don't do that kind of thing. This... binds us.
Hell of a job you did at Ragnarok, General. Wish I could have been there to see you and Sindri take down Thor and Odin.
That is not what happened.
Yeah, maybe not, but it's the story I like best. Important thing is, Odin's paid in full for what he did to Brock. I know it doesn't fix what's broke, but it ain't nothing. My lady. What do you need, handsome?
Careful, brother! You're covered in Bifrost! Lariat's attack! Still unpleasant! I believe that was the last stronghold of the Aesir.
So, Odin's oppressive ways have finally ended.
Are you satisfied?
Yes. Perhaps the realms may finally find peace and healing. Mimir, now that we have a moment, can I ask you about your mission to Helheim with Hildisvini?
Ah, yes. Well, I can see why he'd hold off on such a subject until he saw if we survived the battle. Let's pick this up later then.
He really needs to speak to you. Yeah, it's the Osmo Parade.
Greetings. My knowledge is at
Hello,
your disposal.
Ratatoskr.
Hello, Master Kratos. What you've accomplished for these realms is truly something I never thought possible. Rest assured, good Master Brock would be proud beyond measure, even if only to express it in his love language of profane non sequiturs. But he is terribly missed.
Yes, he is.
Now, there is one rather interesting development to apprise you of. The detonation of Asgard shook the world tree to its very roots, dislodging a great number of realm seeds. I thought you might wish to have them. My little way of saying, thank you for preventing my death by immolation.
You are welcome.
Now, what else might there be to discuss?
Something I've been meaning to ask. Once you projected an emotional trait into spectral form, is it just gone from you? Suppose a friend wished to cast off his melancholy, or a predilection towards pining.
I see. But I'm afraid it's not so simple. My spectral projections give me a measure of emotional breathing room, but it is only temporary. If I fail to reassimilate them, they start to fester.
Fester?
They are concentrated beings of emotion, and if left alone for too long, that emotion feeds on itself and becomes more and more, pronounced. Which is why I must periodically reabsorb them, deal with their emotional baggage internally, and then eject them fully recharged.
Huh. Absorbing all that emotion at once must be pretty bitter medicine to swallow.
Oh, yes, it's quite unpleasant. Terrible, in fact. Do not recommend. Well, best of luck to your friend, good Master Mimir. I think that's the long and short of it. Safe travels.
We're heading back to Charlie?
Yes.
He's not going to be very happy with me.
No.
Charlie. I'm sorry, I have no excuse for neglecting you. I will do my best to earn it.
Freya, look.
Merkweed. I know, but I can't stay. There's still things I must do. Kratos, I should look for someone who can watch over him. Permanently. Goodbye, Charlie. Soon.
Maria, what exactly did you promise the large bird in Helheim?
Oh, nothing too horrifying. It's just that she'd like to retire.
Retire? Hell's Who wants to retire?
You better pause there. Ah, if I had a stomach, it'd be twisting right now.
Odin is gone. There's no remaining threat.
No, it's from excitement. Hardly any non-giants have gotten the great privilege of visiting the realm of the Jotnar.
It's truly an honor to be among a very select few. So this is Jotunheim.
As beautiful as the stories, and then some.
Look here, Freya.
incredible.
Company's here, Fen.
Angerboda,
Kratos, Mimir, Freya. It's good to see you.
I wish to thank you for creating a path out of Asgard for us.
Aye, a true pleasure to meet the lassie who saved our skins.
Indeed. Your giant stuff magic is truly a marvel.
We were so glad we got there in time. Freya, your brother's sacrifice won't be forgotten.
It won't.
I will say, you've made quite the impression on our Atreus' heart.
Mimir,
Oh, like you weren't thinking it, brother.
Ahem. You're a cherished ally, Angerboda. I hope we cross paths again.
I imagine we will. There's lots to do, and I'm just getting started.
good boy.
Kratos, the last time you were here was because of Faye, right?
You saw this in prophecy.
Your son told me. It's a beautiful place to rest.
It is what she wished. You painted these shrines.
Some of them. Some I finished for my mother.
Your work is beautiful.
Your skill with a brush is unmatched, Angerboda.
My son, he draws.
He told me.
Although he'd do well to learn from your use of color.
We come from a long line of artisans, so he has it in him. He just needs some discipline to bring it out.
I like you. Angerboda, you are the last giant left in Jotunheim.
No, actually. My grandmother, Gryla. She's, not really one for visitors, but she's still here. She's helping me forage at the moment.
After all you've done, lass, she must be so proud to have a granddaughter such as yourself.
She might be. Someday. I don't know quite yet, but I think it's a start.
A flower.
I did not think anything grew here.
Eric! Careful, brother! You're covered in Bifrost!
Ready your guards!
Ross, this is a fine mess! You then, Deviant Eric! Careful, brother! You're covered in Bifrost! Still unpleasant!
This was the last, was it not? Only the king remains.
Aye, and if you thought his berserkers were tough, well, I've been thinking about what you said, brother. Maybe it's time to let this go. Slip up a dead man's soul with this old sword isn't gonna change the past.
It is good to hear you say that. But I plan to face him regardless.
What? After all your lecturing on vengeance and spite?
It is not wise to let a malevolent spirit wander Midgard. But I needed to know you wanted this for the right reasons.
Huh. Appreciate the sentiment, brother.
Do you hear that? Someone's crying.
Sinmara.
Ah, Surtur's love. Should we try to tell her what happened?
She knows.
near the little shop I'm running out in the Alpine Desert, there's something y'all are probably gonna want to see. Oh, what can I do for a goddess? This here's the fun part.
It fits.
Woohoo! Looking good! Now go show it off. Strong, silent lumen type.
It fits.
Woohoo! Looking good! This here's the fun part.